Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. We have two players on offense coming up that had lofty expectations going into the 2022 season, and it never happened. Zion Nelson never got healthy. Tyler Van Dyke never got into a rhythm. Then he got hurt. So the question becomes, basically, which player has the most to... How do I want to ask this question? Which player has to prove the most this upcoming season? Now, obviously, someone may say, Rashad, is this a trick question? The answer is easily Tyler Van Dyke. But I would also venture to say that, and I'm not going to argue with you if you say that, but I do think that we do need to stop and think for a second that Zion Nelson was graded out as one of the top pass blocking left tackles, or just offensive linemen, period, the last time we saw him healthy. Now, obviously, he got hurt. A lot of rumors, a lot of speculation going on. He had some competition in the building. Don't necessarily know if he's going to be don't know if he's going to be a participant in spring ball. And if he's not, that just makes his job just that much harder to keep, because we got Francis, we got Mary Goa. Some people say maybe Kit Cohen out there. Don't necessarily know. But he has a big hill to climb. He has to get back to that particular level. Now, obviously, one of the biggest things that we wanted to see from Zion is he needed to improve his run blocking to become a complete tackle, right? So if he can improve his run blocking under Coach Mirabel as well as Coach Cristobal, then it's a no-brainer that this should be a first-round draft pick tackle if he plays at that particular level. And it's marvelous when we really stop and think about what Zion was going back to the 2018 season, when there was just those DNs were having like a buffet line to Jarren Williams in that Florida game. But from that player to go from that player right there to potentially, we're talking about a first-round draft pick tackle. I mean, we got to salute that young man for putting in the work, buying in. We have to do that. But he has a lot. He didn't play all last year. Again, some people preseason had him maybe as a first-round tackle last year. And quite possibly if he played and we could have had maybe put Campbell over at right tackle, maybe we probably would have had a formidable offensive line and probably could have kept TVD more upright. But again, I need to cry over spilt milk. But I think Zion has a lot to prove. Not just to himself, but to us as the fans. Because again, and this is what I'm going to start pegging it, I'm going to start pegging it to Braxton Berrios treatment. And again, like I said on my previous video, I'm not talking about the Braxton Berrios treatment post-2017. I'm talking about the Braxton Berrios treatment dating back to 2016. You got two dogs, that 5-star dogs, that one of them or both of them want that spot. And if you can't participate in the spring, potentially one of them is going to get some reps, or maybe even both of them are going to get some reps at that spot. And you got to sit there in the spring, if you can't participate, and watch them figure it out. And when you are full go again, you got to come in and as they say, man, you got to put your sack on the table and say, look, y'all can have this next year, but this money year for me, baby. I got to have it, right? So, again, I asked the question again, would TVD be a full participant in the spring? Obviously, TVD, magical 2021 season, but at this particular point, it seems like it's such a distant memory. Obviously, we were probably looking at TVD as being in this particular quarterback class. But instead, we got to sit here and listen to draft analysts finesse teams into thinking, you know what? Anthony Richardson, he does have some Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers in it. We got to listen to draft experts talk about that. We got to listen to draft experts talk about Will Levis. We gotta listen to it, right? We got to. But potentially maybe next year, in next year's quarterback class draft, it should be packed as well. Because potentially you're going to have Drake May. You got Caleb Williams. You're going to have Sam Hartman. Brennan Armstrong, which was, again, another guy that should have been in this particular draft class. And obviously Tyler Van Dyke and maybe Quinn Ewers. So it's going to be interesting to see. Well, maybe not. Quinn Ewers won't play. I think Quinn Ewers is a redshirt freshman, or he's just a freshman. I don't know. Yeah, he graduated early though, so Quinn Ewers may be drafted eligible next year. But in any regard, TVD has a lot to do to get people to remember. And it's up to Shannon Dawson, it's up to Mario Cristobal, it's up to the entire offensive staff, the offensive line, to help get him back accommodated and get him back feeling comfortable. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what quarterback it is, they're going to find a way to nitpick your game either way. But as long as you're looking good, you can go early. So, again, I mean, this may be, again, like I said, this may be a trick question because most people are going to say it's easy as Tyler Van Dyke. But I do think that there is a case to be made that Zion Nelson, he has the most to prove. He has the most to prove because he has to clear a mental battle, whatever again was going on with his injury. He gotta clear that. Then you got another mental battle. You got 2 5-star freshmen and maybe even Cohen that are looking for that left tackle position. You gotta clear that. So you got the most to prove, in my opinion, to solidify that spot. But Tyler Van Dyke, in the grand scheme of things, has the most to prove to the world, right? But those are just my particular thoughts, man. Again, spring ball is this week. Gonna go out in shorts and shells. So obviously players are gonna, talk. Shout out Flo. Catch a lot of their broadcasts. They've been sitting down talking to some players, and they were sitting down talking to Robert Stafford the other night. And it was funny because Flo was like, he's looking in the background because he was like, he had forgot that Stafford wasn't an early enrollee. So he was looking, he thought Stafford was in the dorm room, but he wasn't. And so just listen to Stafford talk, man. I think Stafford's probably going to, when he gets on campus, man, because you got to know young men hear this. And I'm guilty of this as well because, again, we put so much stock in the McLean sweepstakes that we kind of overlook the fact that Robert Stafford is good too, as well as Brown. But I think Stafford is probably going to get on campus and really, because if he's a competitor, which I feel like we've done a very good job in vetting and making sure we got some competitors that want to fight this particular upcoming season, I think he's going to take all of that and say, look, I'm going to make y'all forget him. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make y'all forget Brown. Right? So that'll be interesting. But like I said, I don't have any grand expectations for players that haven't taken a snap yet, because that's how you turn into bashing players, because you put unrealistic expectations on them, right? But anyway, man, that's it, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and as always, it's all about the you. Peace.